Good morning. Good Thanksgiving morning. It is Thursday, November 23rd, 2017. We are the Bitter Knitters. My name is Jacqueline. Arthur's here.
Hey,
And Ryan is here.
Oh my god. Hi.
So it's Thanksgiving, Ryan. What's your favorite food to eat on Thanksgiving?
Food.
All the food?
What's
You don't have
food?
a favorite?
Okay. I hate stuffing. It's the most useless thing ever invented in life. Um, I don't like cranberry. I don't like the little cranberry jello thingy. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like. I'm not really a big fan of corn. It's okay. Corn is
That's
okay.
sacrilege.
My favorite will always be as a carboholic mashed potatoes with gravy,
That's my
and I'm
favorite too.
happy. Yeah, mashed potatoes with gravy.
What's yours, Arthur?
the whole fucking dinner.
Just everything.
Yeah, don't give two shits. Just put it on my plate, drown it in gravy. I'm fucking good to go.
Oh, so you put gravy on everything? I do that too. People are
Everything.
like, "That's so gross." And I'm like, "No, the gravy makes everything taste better."
It's
Everything.
supposed to. It's
Like,
supposed to.
if my Thanksgiving dinner doesn't end up looking like a fucking soup, then it wasn't done right.
Oh my God, Arthur.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck
no, I'm the same way. I'll send you a picture next time I have like a roast or a turkey dinner, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
It's gravy.
Yeah.
Gravy. The only thing I don't put the gravy on is the stuffing, but then I would take a bite of the potato with the gravy and put some stuffing on it and mix it in that way.
Oh, everything. Like broccoli, the turnip, everything is fucking drowned in gravy.
Oh, I don't eat those kind of vegetables.
Oh, I do. Fucking right.
The only vegetable I eat is potato and corn.
Yeah, potato is a vegetable, okay?
Okay, so I want to give a couple of little quick updates. Let me see if I
Yeah.
can find this. Did I
Yeah.
save it? Why can't I find it? I did not save it. Remember the little boy we talked about that had to get to the kidney? The last name was Burgess. I of course didn't save it. And his father was supposed to give him the
Oh,
kidney,
yeah,
but he
he's in-
violated his parole.
yeah.
He got a kidney donation yesterday morning. He had the transplant, and so far everything is okay.
Right on.
So I mean, didn't get it from his father, got it from somebody else. But I mean, there you go. He got it, and thankfully, 2 years old, he hopefully has a good future ahead of him.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So that's all I'm going to spend talking about that. I just wanted to give a little update because I saw that this morning. But it's kind of like a Thanksgiving miracle for the family, I'm sure. They were probably really afraid.
Yeah.
We got a little bit more of the legal pot updates here in Canada. Of course, the government wants, and Arthur and I talked about this recently too, they want to include packaging that would be, make it unappealing for most people.
Yeah.
So, dirty lungs, rotted teeth, whatever they're going to do. But they also want to make sure that it's not, like, say you're buying Pineapple Express meat. I think that's a real thing, right?
Probably.
It's not going to have like cartoon pineapples that will be attractive to children, obviously. So, not a surprise, and I think it's a good idea to do, honestly.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's appealing enough as is, right?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Right on.
So that's good. And then this one. This is not really an update. This is just something that happened, and it just shows you how out of touch some people are. We have MP here, a member of Parliament. He's a conservative. Peter Kent. He actually was a well-known news anchor man, and he did a lot of work over and during the Iraq War and stuff. He said yesterday, while he was, maybe yesterday or the day before, while he was speaking in the House of Commons, he said that letting people grow pot in their house was equivalent to putting, and this is the quote, putting fentanyl on a shelf within kids' reach. He's equating pot to fentanyl.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid.
This guy's a dummy.
Fucking stupid. I mean, I kind of understand the sentiment, I guess, but he's an idiot. I mean, you can't fucking overdose on fucking weed, bud. Sorry, but you can't.
No. Well, and you even said how hard it is to grow a pot
Yeah,
plant.
it's not easy.
So, I mean, I don't think many people are going to have, 4 giant pot plants with hundreds of buds,
No. Like, I mean, it's easy enough to grow one. Like, you can just fucking, they'll grow anywhere. But to make it actually produce flower and bud and shit like that, it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's just fear mongering.
But what an idiot. And and also, like, you're kind of making the fentanyl crisis kind of blasé. I mean, there's people that first support workers that are showing up and they're overdosing because they touch somebody's fentanyl by accident and they're dying. Let's not make light of the situation. That's an extremely dangerous situation for a lot of people. And come on, buddy, grow up. We're not in reefer madness days, okay? Jesus. Anyway, that's all I'm going to update on that idiot. But there's a couple good stories out this week that I thought were pretty interesting. The one that really, I can't even believe that this is a thing. I don't know. I guess because I don't go on YouTube all that much. I look at music videos and documentaries. So this was the first story I heard. I heard this on Tuesday when I was at work. A dad got kicked off of YouTube for making disturbing videos of his daughter. So I'm reading the stories. I didn't watch any of the videos. This guy, his channel was called Toy Freaks or something. His daughters would be in the bathtub playing. Now they're in bathing suits. They're clothes, so that's not nudity, obviously. But he'll come in and he'll throw frogs in the bathtub and make them scream and cry. He makes them feed each other baby food until they're puking. They pee on each other. At one point, one of the daughters peed on him, and he zooms in on their wet spots on their butts and crotches and stuff. Pretty disturbing shit, in my opinion. And when you get into peeing and kids, that's sick.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
This was the thing. Apparently, there's thousands of channels out there.
Yeah.
So they took his channel down. People reported it. But what killed me, there was 8 million followers to this. And nobody, obviously because pervs were there, nobody said anything. Until finally, I guess somebody finally reported them. It's pretty disturbing things. So now then, they got the next story that came out yesterday. Now they're addressing, this is what they're calling, YouTube is addressing its massive child exploitation problem. We're talking about thousands of channels. You've got where people are, I'm assuming, because they're coming from a lot of European countries, kidnapping children and then pretending to drown them, tying them up, making kids play doctor with each other, pulling down the pants and pretending to inject a needle into them, putting fake giant bugs in their ears or on their faces. Just some really weird shit.
Mm-hmm. That is odd.
I also think that we need to investigate these kids who open toys and have my niece watch these people open toys so she wants more toys. I think that there is no business for minors being super, super young kids who can't think for their own, to be on YouTube. And the reason for that is exploitation doesn't just go on that sexualized, weird kind of part of the internet route. It can go also where a parent is, you know what I mean? I'm not going to mention who it is. I think it's Ryan Surprise, but I did mention it. It's
the one that made his kids scream and be terrified, right?
Oh no. That's the one that opens the toys and stuff. I mean,
okay. Yeah, no, you don't see that.
Too much. It's because we know that these YouTubers, I think we all know, I think it's public knowledge that they make money off of this, right? How do we, part of exploitation, because you also go into Hollywood, how do we know that these kids are actually benefiting from the money that they're getting? Because
especially in this case, at least in Hollywood, right? Mm-hmm. Money's supposed to go into a trust and all. There's all these supposed legal to protect the money of the children. On this YouTube account, who's protecting you? No one's protecting you.
And you're being exploited, because exploitation isn't just the whole weird stuff anymore. Exploitation could be something as simple as you opening up on a toy on YouTube and playing games and stuff.
So look at all these Instagram accounts where you've got little boys and girls where their mommies or daddies dress them up in amazing, cute little outfits and put them on there. They're being monetized, right? It's crazy. The good thing is YouTube is deleting these things. They're demonetizing most of these videos, and they are turning off comments with children, so that even if the video is not, say, a creepy video, but some creeper comes on and says something like, "Oh, she has nice legs," or "She has, pretty shoulders," it's gonna, protect the children to some degree.
Well, it's about time. I mean,
I just honestly, I never knew that. It's It's crazy.
Because it's fair. If you ever go on any fucking like comment thread on YouTube, it's
Oh, yeah.
disgusting.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it is.
it's fucking horrendous, the shit that
Even
people
just
say.
the Robbie Williams
Oh,
one. And I mean,
anything.
this is a married man with kids, and what some of his
Mhm.
fans say are scary.
Oh, it's fucked.
I can't imagine being somebody like what's her name, Jenna Marbles. I don't watch
Yeah.
her, but I know she's a somewhat attractive girl, and I'm sure she gets some disgusting
Oh,
comments,
hells
right?
yeah.
Aren't
Yeah.
we all somewhat attractive girls?
I don't think Arthur is.
No.
He's an attractive man.
I'd make one ugly woman.
Yeah, especially if he didn't shave.
Yeah, I
That
would
would be
make one
really
ugly fucking woman. But
Well,
no,
as-
you see this shit constantly. It's YouTube's that new thing, right? It's that new thing where it's really zero effort, but you get something in return, right?
Mhm.
So people are always going to look for that kind of niche. And children, I mean, as fucking weird as it is, people always watch kid videos.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Well,
for
'cause-
anything nefarious, right? Like, but people are just kind of enthralled by children, I guess.
Well, people like that. They have those kids react videos, right? And you show a kid an old typewriter, and it's
Yeah.
cute to watch them being like, "What the hell is this?" They don't know. So some things are completely genuine and innocent, and then there's pervs.
Yeah, exactly. But
And,
that's
I mean,
how do you
what make-
you stop that, right?
That's the
Like-
only thing you can't. You can't. I mean, you can stick your finger in the hole and stem the flow, but you're not
Mhm.
going to stop it.
Because I've always had that thought, even about like the diaper commercials, where you see the kids
Yeah.
running around with nothing on. You just see the little kid's bum, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, the creep could potentially fucking use that,
Yeah.
For
Well,
something,
that's
yeah.
it.
right? So it's a weird situation, and obviously nobody wants to ever put a kid in a spot where they can be victimized, but I mean, we kind of all do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have the pictures of my son with his little bum showing. Now, I've never put those ones on the internet.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that though. Like, I'm sure we've all seen that, where parents are kind of naive to that fact, and they do post those pictures. The bath pictures and shit like that.
Yeah.
I know I've fucking seen it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. You have to be careful. Well, I remember the story back in, I guess it was the 80s. I was watching Oprah, I'm pretty sure. And the parents had taken pictures of their kids. And back when you had to go to a place to get your film developed, they reported them to the police and they lost their children.
Yep.
And it was completely innocent pictures. But, it was back in the, people actually started to understand pedophilia and, child exploitation.
Yeah. Which is kind of a weird thought, because I know that there's, I don't know what photo album it's in, but I know for a fact there's a couple photos of me like pre-bath as an infant or post-bath, and if they fell in the wrong hands, I mean, that would be considered fucking child pornography.
Yeah, it would be now. That's
Where
for sure.
they are just innocent pictures. They're just a picture
Yeah.
of fucking getting out of the bath as a fucking infant. But
Yeah.
you can't really leave people to their own devices anymore, because someone will end up fucking jerking off to it.
Exactly. They'll end up on some, pedophilia
Yeah.
circle, and everybody would be using it.
Uh,
Anyway, if you
Well-
see gross stuff like that on the internet, report it. Let's report it, people.
Well, as a timeless and ageless Southern Baptist white woman, I have
Yes.
no child photos of myself because I've burnt them. And the reason for this,
Oh, I thought it was
Because-
because it was pre-photography days.
oh, no, Jacqueline, I'm very young. I'm 18. 17, actually. But I have burnt these photographs specifically so people do not know that, because some of you remember the old, you remember when you'd have to turn the little thingy up top and then click again and then turn the little thingy
Yeah,
again?
wind the film.
Yeah. Those cameras come with timestamps.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't want timestamps. So you
You
can
don't want-
tell how.
You don't want all your future husbands to know your real
Yes.
age.
Mhm.
Yes, my real age. I am 18 years old, and that's all you need to know. Thank you. There.
Jesus.
Living in the delusion.
Yeah. I don't think we're allowed to encourage this.
I don't. I fully tell people he's not 18.
I am 18 years old. Thank you very much.
Add a decade.
What? No, it's not. I had a decade. I had 5 years. Okay, I'll be fair. I had 5 years.
Oh my god. So another story came out from today from Facebook. They're announcing that they're gonna, I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's gonna be a new portal which will let people see whether they liked or followed any of these the Internet Research Agency, which is the Russian propaganda people.
Yeah.
That kind of fooled around with the election, allegedly. I guess we'll see. But it's going to let people see if they followed them, which I think is fantastic for some of these people who think that they are in the know and they go to all these great sites and they know so much, doing their quote unquote research.
Yeah.
Now they'll be able to see if they're going to the troll farm.
My thing is prove it. Prove it.
Well,
prove that's exactly what it is. Not just Facebook, and they've been known to fucking do this, censoring shit that they don't personally agree with.
Yeah.
That's my issue with this. I think it's a great idea. I really do, because I mean, I'm sick and tired of the passing of false information myself.
Yeah.
But we know for a fact in the last couple of years, Facebook has been censoring things that they don't personally agree with. It doesn't go with their own personal narratives.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit problematic, because prove to me that this is your quote unquote fucking Russian shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Good point. Good point. Maybe the portal will explain how they're able to do it, or their proof.
Like, I hope so. I really do, because again, you know, someone really close in my family is constantly sharing shit that isn't fucking true. That's just pure fucking bullshit. And I'd like them to know, like, hey, that's not right. Like, that's fucking wrong. You're being duped right now.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I mean, I want proof. I want proof that this is actually what it is, and not just Facebook kind of dictating what I'm allowed and not allowed to fucking think.
I had a Facebook friend share yesterday, and I went livid. Shared some article with the headline, "FDA just announces that vaccines cause autism."
Ugh.
I fucking lost my mind. I immediately put in the FDA autism, right? First thing that came up was that exact title, and from like a debunking site.
Yeah.
Take a second and research these things, people, before you just press share. So I, of course, went in with 100% false and shared the link. What a dumb bitch. Please check what you're doing. Don't just share because it seems, interesting to you.
Well, and most of the people that are peddling off this false information aren't reading the articles. They're not looking at the source of these articles. They're just going by the headline alone and the emotion that headline makes them feel, which I think is fair. I mean, not really fair in the name of fucking, honesty and actually like sharing truth, but I mean, we're all kind of sensationalized by some of these articles,
Sure.
So I get it, but at the same point in time, like, yeah, if you want to come off as somebody who's informed, actually get informed.
Read the freaking article.
Like, it's not hard. Take 5 minutes out your fucking day and actually read what the fuck this stuff says, rather than just sharing shit from my go-to jihadywatch.org. Because that shit's bullshit. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
There's nothing there with any fucking truth to it. But I see that fucking site peddled so fucking much. It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, as soon as I see certain links, like, so what I'll do is when I see the headline to something, I'm like, what's this? And then I go and I always look and see the source.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, you're dumb.
I don't even click the link half the time because I know it's going to be some bullshit thing.
Yeah, it's stupid, but I mean, it could be all right. I mean, it could be.
Well, hopefully. I mean, if they're able to verify that it's truly the Russian troll farm, right? How they'll do it, I don't know. But I mean, it would be great if people would actually open themselves up to see and admit that they fell for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at it and see. Maybe I shared something. Who knows? Probably not, but you never know.
I'd assume most of us fell for a little bit of it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure I could have, right?
If not bought into it like hook, line, and sinker, we at least gave it some type of merit, where it maybe just made us feel something, you know what I mean?
Well, and they weren't just doing, like, attacking Hillary stuff. That's the thing. Like, people don't realize. They were putting us against each other.
Yep, that was the whole point of it.
So there was anti-conservative things, and there was anti-liberal things, and, I very easily could have fallen for it, but like I said, I always kind of look at the source before I share something.
Yeah, same here.
If it's not a news site or a blog that I'm aware of, I usually don't share it.
Yeah, for me, if it's...
But who's to say I didn't share a blog? that shared that story.
Well, and that's just it, right? Because it wasn't just the individual consumer of media that was perpetuating these false fucking stories. It was also places like BuzzFeed and shit like that that were buying into the sensationalized fucking titles of this stuff and just running with it. Which, I mean, again, I kind of understand at the same point, like, especially in regards to BuzzFeed, like, you guys want to be taken as a credible fucking news source. Well, act credible, you dumb fucks.
Like that Russian company said, BuzzFeed is not a real news source.
No, it is not.
They're trying, but they're not.
No, they're not.
I meant to update this at the beginning, but we also called this last month. 450 people, victims of the MGM Mandalay Bay shooting at that concert. Boots and Hearts, whatever it was. They're now doing a mass lawsuit.
Yeah,
class action, that's what I was trying to think of, against not only the estate of the gunman, I'm not going to say his name, but also the Mandalay Bay Hotel, MGM Resorts, and Live Nation Entertainment, who promoted the concert.
Yeah.
Why Live Nation? Well,
they're saying that they failed to protect them, security was useless, and the exits were not marked properly.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that'll go. We'll see. We knew that this lawsuit was coming. I didn't know Live Nation was going to get sued, but I should have thought about it and been like, yeah, of course they would.
Why Mandalay? I mean, I know this.
They failed to, what the lawsuit is saying, is that they failed to keep him from going into the hotel room with all these guns.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with. That I do completely agree with.
But Ryan, when you go to a hotel, they don't check your bags.
They should. I mean,
why should they? That's your personal business in a hotel.
Because when we go on the fucking plane, they do.
Yeah, but that's a plane. That's not a hotel.
Some schools do the same thing now. No. You should. Okay, here's my thing. How was a person able to take in, what is it, semi-automatic assault weapons? That's the crazy part.
In a duffel bag. Who doesn't travel with a duffel bag? I'm not saying either or. I'm just saying, like, when we traveled down east this year, Logan had 2 duffel bags, and one of his duffel bags was filled with all his video game shit, right? And that went in and out of a hotel room.
Yeah, but
right?
But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be doing. Well, I'm not saying that, but it's hard to explain, but I do think that we need to be. Listen, if I'm going to get into
thousands of people going into a hotel room or into a hotel every day, do you really think people are going to let you stop in a hotel? I get people are used to. They know you're not getting on a plane.
These hotels be making money off of us. They need to be spending money to keep us safe. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Because you got to think about it in that sense.
Okay, so where does it stop? Now, any building you go into, they're going to stop and search your bag, Ryan? What if you've got all your vibrators and handcuffs because you're going to have a kinky weekend? Do they need to know all that business about you?
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't need to know.
Let them know.
They don't look in my fucking bag.
I'm getting some. No,
I'm not down for that. Yes. And I don't carry anything. I don't have anything even secretive in my luggage. But if I'm not getting on a plane or crossing the border, you ain't looking at my fucking bag.
Well, maybe for me as a New Yorker, right? As a New Yorker, things like this have been happening for a while. Not the whole shooting thing. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. But things like this have been happening for a while. So to me, it's a bit of a norm, right? Like safety functions, because actually what you said is true. The whole thing. You are sometimes when you're going through the train, there's a checkpoint, and they'll check your bags.
Yeah.
And there's a little warning that says, any big or suspicious looking items might be checked before you enter the trains. I don't mind.
I wouldn't mind that either on the train.
I don't mind. But the thing is, Jacqueline, we also have to consider the fact that, was it 450 people were freaking hurt and then 60 people were shot? At some point, we do have to say, this may not apply to every country.
Why are we blaming the hotels? And not one person is blaming the federal government for allowing these gun laws that allowed him to amass these. Why aren't they named in the lawsuit?
Well, because the federal government chooses. I don't think you can sue the government. Can you? I'm sure you can, but I don't think you can sue them to this degree.
I just think it's wrong that they're trying to make a complete nanny state. And the more we allow our freedoms to slip away, the more you're going to end up in a Brave New World or 1984
Yeah.
where the government is controlling everything you do. I have the right to privacy.
Not when you're about to shoot me.
Yeah, but who's to say?
You know,
Okay, so 99% of us are not going to shoot you.
I would like
So
to think
99% of us lose our freedoms because one person is allowed to amass automatic weapons or make a weapon automatic by buying a bump stock. That's the ridiculousness. I think we're mad at the wrong people, and I think some of these people are just in it for a cash grab. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I have PSTD and now I want money.
PTSD.
The unfortunate
Whatever.
thing is that's been the narrative in the U.S., at least in my own observations for years.
Mhm.
Everything is about monetary gain.
Of course.
Everything. I mean, you just look at the prevalence of fucking civil court there. The amount of fucking commercials you see, even here on Canadian television, leaking through the U.S. That's,
Yeah.
You've been hurt, we'll fucking sue the
Yeah.
shit out of that person.
Yeah.
It's never about changing anything to make you safer. It's about, well, how can I profit off of this?
Mhm.
I mean, now me personally, I don't think the concert promoters should be named in this.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, they're not.
Unless they said it truly they didn't have proper exits, then maybe I'll give you something for that. Because people were trampled trying to run for an exit, climbing over fences.
And
Even
probably
if they
even
knew
died
where the
from that.
fucking exits were, you're not gonna give two shits when someone's shooting at you.
True.
That's
You're
true.
you're not thinking rationally. All you're thinking is, flight, flight, flight. That's it. As far as the hotel goes, I mean, I can kind of understand that, kind of. And I'm not one that's really for suing people. That's not
Yeah.
my thing. But I kind of can understand and respect that fact because, yeah, like even me, that was my first kind of thought. Like, how the fuck did you get in the hotel with that kind of shit?
Yeah.
Like, I don't agree that, like, I'm not going
But
to
he
get
didn't
fucking
roll
searched.
up with 13 suitcases.
No,
right?
it was, you did it periodically. Like, you'd bring,
Exactly. And that's nothing weird at all. Somebody coming into the hotel with their luggage. You don't know. I mean, are we going to be like, oh, there's Mr. So-and-so again coming in with his luggage? That's weird. It's a very busy hotel.
And that's it too, right? You're talking Las Vegas. Like the volume of people that are constantly in and out and in and out. You can't fucking stop and search everybody. You can't.
No, you can't. It's unrealistic to do that. But I mean, and I'm sure that there have been situations where, in New York when they were doing and when they do the checkpoints,
Mhm.
that people get away with weed or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there should be some sort of preventative measures that someone can bring in this much amount of ammo. I mean, I'm sure he had more ammo that he wasn't able to use.
Oh,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? There should have been
there's
some
tons of
sort of
unused ammo.
something. I'm not saying that, okay, maybe it's not checking their bags. Have a fucking metal detector as someone's fucking passing through.
See, that's what
what I
I'm
mean?
surprised by, that there wasn't any type of
A
metal detector.
metal
or anything
detector or
like that.
something. That's my point.
You would be
Because
surprised coming into the hotel. You would think automatically because there's a casino involved as well.
yeah, there should be some sort of metal detector or something, just something like that.
But how
Where you
much
can
in your
pass through.
how much of your luggage would set off?
Jacqueline, that is
just the
that's
zippers
those are
on
gone.
the zippers on your luggage is going to set off your metal
Well,
detector.
Well, it's a clear check. You know what I'm saying? It's a clear check. I think also for the safety of the people who are staying in the hotel, these hotels should really try to think about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
just
think they're all going to have to, at the cost
Yeah.
of millions of dollars, get
too
the
bad.
break shatterproof
We
windows
pay
or stuff like
taxes to
that.
keep the people safe, and to keep the police people to keep the police people employed. And thank you so much for their service. They should too. Sorry, what do you think? You're just gonna
I
fucking
just think
profit
that
from
it's
people?
wrong. I know people are mad that he was able to get all these guns into a hotel, but I'm looking at the other side. I think it's wrong that he was able to amass that many guns. I think that there should be a limit on how much people can own personally
But
as a
that's
gun.
not how it works in the United States.
That's
and
the problem.
It's not even how it works here.
I don't think anybody should be able to amass that many guns.
But I
I'm sorry.
I
I don't
don't
care if
think
he bought
this
them.
applies. But I don't think that this rule can apply to a country like Canada. You know what I'm saying? This is, to me, this seems like it makes sense until the fucking federal government fixes something, or maybe the Mandalay Bay can fucking sue, their cohort, fucking Donald Trump, who's in the same business as they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's nuts. It's nuts. I felt like for a month or 2 months, all we were hearing were a bunch of fucking mass shootings. Every
Yeah.
week there was a mass
Well, there's a
fucking
mass
shooting.
shooting every day in America.
It's nuts.
Most of it's involved with
Mhm.
gangs,
Mhm.
but still, you have a mass shooting. You know, it happens every single day in America. That's shocking.
See, I don't think it's an issue of being able to amass the guns. I mean,
The guns,
you're
yeah.
allowed to have guns here.
Yeah.
And pretty much unlimited, just like it is in the States. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit more of a process that we have to go through. But I've said this, tooth and nail, and I'll say this until the day I die. It's a culture thing.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with the weapons themselves. I mean, again, I can own guns here. I can own pretty much the exact same guns you can own down south, even
Which I think is wrong.
But it's a culture thing. We were never told in Canada and as fervent as you are in the US, you have the right to fucking murder somebody
Yeah.
if you feel threatened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the scary part, Arthur, is that they don't see it as murder. It's the right to protect themselves.
Yeah.
The right to hunt with a semi-automatic weapon that can fire 60 rounds in 1 second. Okay.
Like, I don't see the point in it. Like, and I'm not anti-gun. I've never been anti-gun.
I'm not either.
Mm-hmm. I see the use for them and I agree with it, but it's true. There does have to be something. Something has to be done about the type of weapons that you're allowed.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go off of topic over here and kind of tie this into something. It's just like what Whoopi Goldberg had once said to a person who's that's pro-life, right? Yeah. Do you choose to not have abortions? And the woman was like, absolutely. So then you're pro-choice.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-gun. I just choose to not have one.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't have to own a fucking gun. Mm. It's not like you need a gun. I mean,
it's not mandated.
And the more people that feel the need to own a gun means there's more people out there that now feel the need to own a fucking gun.
But I think, when was it that there was a statistic that was shown that I think every household has about 2 or 3 guns? I think the population of the United States is like 350 million. There's like 320 million guns.
No, there's more. I think, isn't it like 6 guns for every person in America?
It probably was more, but it was like a crazy staggering amount.
But I've said this before. There are more guns here in Canada per capita than there are in the U.S. There are more gun owners per capita here in Canada than there are in the U.S. We do not have this level of violence. We do not have these mass shootings, these almost monthly fucking mass shootings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not an issue of the tool itself. It's an issue with the culture that these people are being brought up in. And I mean, you just look at some of just how Americans are kind of taught to come up about, like, you praise the Wild West. It's all outlaws and these guys live their lives. Well, what were they doing? They're murdering people over fucking disputes about grazing areas and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you grow up hearing these stories and thinking this is okay, that this is the status quo, where we were never really kind of fed that propaganda, even though we were, because obviously we consume fucking 90% of our information comes from the U.S. But to me, it's always been that it's a cultural difference. And even within regards to this, where I can't say I don't think Canadians would try to sue, because I do. I definitely think.
Some absolutely would, yeah.
I don't think that would be our first go-to, where like right after some of these people were safe, where they got out of the line of fire, their first thought was, how can I, get monitored?
Like, I have no problem with the families of the people that died, or people that were literally, shot or trampled. No problem with those people trying to get some sort of, compensation.
Yeah.
But, like, if I made it through that, even if I had PTSD, I'd be so thankful that I was freaking alive. Because 60 people didn't make it out alive, and a lot of people are permanently handicapped because of this.
I mean, at a bare minimum, I do believe that the hotel should be paying these medical expenses.
Yeah, I have no problem with them paying the medical
expenses.
expenses.
I do feel that way. Like, I really do feel that way. Because it's true. You guys hosted an event, and that event apparently was inherently fucking unsafe. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, Live Nation...
That wasn't even Mandalay Bay. That wasn't their property where it was.
Oh, no?
No, it was just Live Nation. It was another hotel grounds or a park or something like that. Mandalay Bay just happened to be next door.
And that's the thing too. Like, how do you prevent it? What? So do we have to level everything off so there can't be any high ground?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well, and now if you sue for enough money and Live Nation loses enough money, at what point does it become unprofitable for them to continue hosting these things?
Well, exactly.
When are we going to end a concert? We're going to have concerts or baseball games or football games because somebody's going to come in and shoot you, like at the Ariana Grande concert or the what was the Eagles of Death or whatever they were called?
Eagles of Death metal.
You know, when do we say it's too dangerous to go to concerts?
It's always been dangerous to go to concerts.
You know, I don't know. I really don't get some of these things. You know me, I'm not anti-gun either. I think people should be allowed to have guns. My stepfather-in-law owns guns. He's a hunter. I have no problem with that. I think you have to be responsible. And I just think that people shouldn't be, I don't know. I don't get that people should be able to have like 10 semi-automatic weapons. That to me is just beyond.
Or have a little loophole where you can turn it into a fully automatic weapon either. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think you need to have bump stocks. I don't see the point of that. You know, I've said many times, I think that these kind of weapons should only be in the hand of the military. Not even really police, unless you're the SWAT team, because even police are so militarized. It's ridiculous.
My thing is, it's like people, we all have choices in life. You know what I mean? This is why I hate it when people say, I'm pro this. You're pro-choice in anything. I'm not just talking about abortion. I'm not just talking about guns. You're pro-choice in everything. Choose the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
Yeah, but your idea of right to somebody else's isn't the same. That's the problem.
Well, no, but it's a choice. I choose to not murder people or run away because you can't just. Guns aren't the only weapons you could use to kill people. You could use fucking machetes too. You know, I choose to not run around with a fucking knife and slicing people's throats open. You know what I'm saying? That's a choice.
Or you choose not to go rent a U-Haul and drive into a bunch of innocent fucking people.
In New York City,
right? Like, and that's what. You know, the gun debate always gets muddied up with those kinds of arguments, right? And I get it. I honestly do get it when people bring that up. Like, banning guns isn't the fucking solution.
It's not the solution.
It's not the solution. And honestly, it's kind of even a dumb fucking thought when you really think about it. Because it doesn't do shit. Because, I mean, what's one thing that criminals don't give a fuck about? The law.
Yeah.
You know, you think if guns were banned, buddy there in fucking Vegas wouldn't fucking shoot these people? Of course he would.
He might not have been able to get 10 of the same gun. Maybe he would have got one. Maybe, you know, who knows? I just think it's.
There's black market gun sales. I mean, that whole Sons of Anarchy fucking show is based off them selling fucking illegal guns. I
just don't understand what legally, how people are allowed to have this many things. You know, we talk about the NRA and how they refuse to support people that I know this person wasn't mentally ill as far as we know, but you know, mentally ill people not being on a registry or not having to wait to get a gun, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just such the pushback that people, you know, with our rights, our Second Amendment rights, and all they care about is their rights, but they're not caring about my right to live a healthy and happy life without being gunned down at a fucking concert.
No, it's a fair point. I mean, that's the whole thing about this gun debate, though. Like, there's no easy fix. There's no easy fix.
There's not.
Because even for me, being on the outside looking in, you know, it's if I own guns, like, go fuck yourself. You're not taking my guns. You're not telling me how many I can own. You're not telling me what kind I can fucking own. Go fuck yourself. You know.
But I do think that there should be some sort of registration or something.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, to protect the people that choose to not have guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be in fear that I'm going to be walking around, or like Jacqueline said, attending a concert innocently and just be shot from the 32nd floor of a fucking hotel. You know what I mean? There needs to be preventative measures. It's all about preventing these things from happening. You know what I mean? It's that simple. And I think that when we allow people who have, I mean, this guy, the Mandalay Bay guy, he was clean. He was not on any FBI most wanted list. He was a clean guy. But we do need to have some sort of law or rule that stops people who are crazy and mentally insane or violent from buying
even then, look at the guy who killed all the children in Sandy Hook. So here's a guy who's clearly mentally ill, but his mother who has, as far as we know, no mental illnesses, she was able to get a few guns, and he kills her, gets the guns, and goes on a rampage. You know?
But so then, what do we say the solution for that is? We ban guns because I don't
have
think
no clue.
Yeah.
Semi-automatic weapons
not
are
as
not
simple.
good. That's my solution.
Yeah.
I have no
I
problem with
agree. I think we all agree
shotgun,
with that.
a hunting rifle, you know, those sort of things that you need to protect your home or hunt.
I agree. I agree.
That's, you know, but I don't think anybody needs to have 100, you know, ammo in one gun.
One gun. Yeah, you know? I agree. Because that, to me, that if I were a cop or if I were the FBI and I knew that person had that much ammo, I'd be like, are you readying yourself for warfare? Because that's kind of crazy. It's maybe limitations as to how much ammo you can have as many guns as you want. You just don't need 100 billion kinds of ammos. You know what I mean? Or a billion ammos in there, being ready to be able to shot your whole community, your whole town, basically. And the thing is, this is the problem. I agree.
Going away either.
Nope.
I'm about to get real technical here. I agree. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. But you know also what you have to put in guns for them to shoot? Bullets ammo, something. Maybe that's what we should limit. I agree with you, NRA.
But if this guy had 2 knives, he couldn't have killed as many people as he did with
Agreed. And somebody would have been able to
knives don't kill
him.
People. People kill people. Hammers don't kill people. You know, people kill people. It's all relative. But some things make it a lot easier to kill 100 people,
especially when you've got a gun and bump stock to be able to fire 100 rounds in a second. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's technicality.
Bump stock is a thing. I really don't understand why bump stock is a thing, but whatever. It's not going away. We'll be talking about another one next month, I'm sure. Sadly, and you know, it's just the culture in the world right now.
Not to be morbid, but it's the truth, right?
Yeah,
the truth.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Sadly, it's only a matter of time until. And I'm not saying Canada's immune from this. We've had some mass killings, you know. But you know, it's sad and just I don't know. I can't. The next story. This one also made me annoyed, but it's not surprising either. So one member of India's Hindu nationalist ruling party. I can't say any of these names, so I'm not going to try. He's mad. There's a movie coming out called Padmavati, which is based on an old kind of story that's been in their country for years and years, since the 16th century. It's the fictional account of a brave and beautiful queen. She's a Rajput queen who chooses to kill herself rather than be captured by the Muslim Sultan of Delhi. This has been told many times. I guess there's been movies about it, but now this one movie that they're making, they're mad because I guess there's maybe a sex scene in it, some sort of sexual romantic dream sequence. And they're mad, and they want now. This guy has, offered. Yeah, the word is offered. 100 million rupees, which is $1.5 million US, for anyone who beheads the lead actress or the director.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you like them? Like, how do you like them apples? You know what I mean? Like, fuck's sakes.
I mean, there's really, what do you say? It's just like.
There's a lot I could say, but most of them would fucking land me in jail with our hate crime fucking laws, our hate speech laws.
And yeah, I mean, this was at a rally, so you already have hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are already angry at this movie for whatever offense they're taking to it. And it's quite easily these people will be murdered and beheaded.
If you call, and I don't give two shits about your culture, your religion, any of that fucking shit, I really don't give a fuck. But if you call for the death of another person, you know, that there should be instant and very fucking harsh ramifications for those words.
Absolutely.
You should not be able to get away with calling for the fucking, and especially to throw out a contract killing.
Yeah.
Essentially on you know, publicly and get away with that fucking shit. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like, we remember Salman Rushdie.
Yeah.
Right? Satanic Verses. He still has a fatwa on his head.
Yep.
But that, I mean, that's just, and I'm not agreeing with it, but that's just kind of like a cult or a religious offense that they've taken to him, right?
Mhm.
Nobody's going to pay them money. I mean, maybe somebody would give
Yeah.
them money afterward if you could prove it was you. But I mean, this is ridiculous. Like you said, that's a contract killing. He literally said,
Exactly.
"I will give you 100 million rupee.
Yeah.
If you kill them."
And you're talking about people in like who, you know, not only one of the richest, but one of the poorest fucking countries on earth.
Yeah.
You know, someone's gonna try to take that fucking money. Someone's gonna try to take that offer, and then what? Nothing. Nothing will happen. You know what I mean? It's. I'm just so fucking sick of this shit.
I don't know how they're allowed. Like, if I went over there and I stood and made a speech and I said, "I want this guy, the leader of this party, killed, and I'll give you 100 million rupee,"
Yeah.
they'd rip me apart.
You say it here, you're going to jail. You say it here, you're a racist. You say it here, you know what I mean? You're some fucking Islamophobe or some shit. But this is the stuff right here. This is the shit right here that turns so many fucking people off in the West to these older, archaic, barbaric fucking religions.
Yeah.
When your God, your all-powerful, fucking knowing, all-loving God is such a little fucking bitch that he can't handle a fucking movie being made, and you got to issue out a fucking contract killing.
Yeah.
Fuck's sakes. This shit pisses me off beyond fucking words.
You know, and this is the thing, like, you know, when something offends you here, you don't go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Here, in this group of people who are upset by it, you know, they're going to physically kill somebody or burn down theaters, start riots if this is played in any of the theaters, is what they're saying. Like, grow the fuck up.
It's so sad and pathetic. It really is, you know, and I really start to think this way once there was the Charlie Hebdo shooting.
Yeah.
You know, it really kind of turned my mind about a lot of this subject, and about how just soft, I guess would be the word to use, is like these people are. And they are. They can't take any form of fucking criticism, and anything that goes against their fucking, you know, specific book of fucking wizardry recipes, you know, they call for fucking death on people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's not conducive to whom we are. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get to say that. We don't get to tell fucking people that they deserve to die because they said something like just against who we are. You know, those people that are like, even currently, I seen it the other day. They fucked up a statue of John A. MacDonald in Quebec.
Yeah.
Now me personally, I know he was a racist and he was a drunk, but I admire the guy. The guy fucking, you know, he brought our country together. I don't get to call for the death of these fucking people because of it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
but in some countries, they would be calling for their blood
and praised for it.
Yeah.
You know, these people, like in the article, I just skimmed it over, but you know, they're shutting down the set. They burnt shit down and stuff. Nothing's happening. Nothing's fucking happening to these people. I mean,
it's insane.
It's so fucked up to me.
But this is one of the problems too, is you have billions of people in a country that have no education.
Shit.
Right? So when you have no education, you can't read, you haven't been to school, you're easily manipulated.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's just it's not hard to not fucking kill though. You know,
no, that's true. That's true.
Not hard. I mean, fuck. I've been going 30 years now without killing anybody. It's not fucking hard.
I beat your record.
Yeah, right. But it's not hard. It's not hard to fucking not kill people. It's not hard to get offended and move the fuck on. Like, just go on to the next. You know, I wish, not wish, but I mean, it would just be funny to see if we turned that corner ever. Especially now with everything fucking being offensive to somebody, you know, where we could just call for the death of everybody because you misgendered somebody or you didn't fucking do this. I just can't stand it. I can't fucking stand this shit. It's so backwards. It's not progressive. It's just not conducive with the world that most of us want to fucking live in.
Well, that's it. You know, but how are you going to, you can't educate a country or change cultural beliefs overnight. I don't know when it'll change, but.
Yeah, a couple of white phosphorus bombs might fucking enrich them culturally fucking quick enough. And that's it right there, right? Like, that statement right there. You know, look at your reaction to it. Oh,
yeah, because it's kind of like, no,
but
you can't kill people.
What the fuck are these assholes saying?
just because they're saying it doesn't mean we should say it. When then we're just as bad as them, right?
Eye for an eye, right? And doesn't it say that in the Bible somewhere?
I don't believe in the Bible, so.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm just going off by what they're fucking
turn the
doing.
Other cheek.
They want to fucking
turn the other cheek. Arthur, it says that in the Bible.
They better turn the other cheek for that white phosphorus burns them to fucking shit. I'm just done with it. Like, I don't fucking care. I just.
Well, and this is the thing. If they're, I don't want to say it and make it sound bad, but I mean, if they continue with like barbarian ideals, then our governments and our UN and our world banks need to start saying no.
We need to pull out. Flat out.
We need to, and I mean, look, Saudi Arabia finally kind of turning a corner, but they're still our best friends, right? America, Canada. I mean, the women's rights are still horrific.
Yeah.
Human rights are still horrific there. Why do we let them get away with it? China, why do we let them get away with it? But we still make all these huge billion-dollar deals with them. Because money, our government's money, is always more important than anybody else's human rights. That's why.
Well, absolutely. Like that's just a fact. Like, you can't refute that. Yeah. But this isn't the government. This isn't the government saying this stuff. This is a faction of religious fucking nut jobs that are saying this, that are trying to oppose their own personal religious nonsense onto another group of fucking people.
Yeah. Well, and their country needs to deal with them too.
Right? I mean, I'm with you on the whole just stop, like don't give them no more aid. Don't fucking give them business. Pull your fucking banks out. Pull your diplomats out. Just stop. Leave them alone. And when these people are fucking bitching and moaning and crying that, the quality of life is returned to what they fucking did to themselves, then we can be like, all right, well, you change this, you change this, you change this. Maybe we'll get back in that arena and we'll try to hammer some shit out.
Yeah.
But even that thought right
there. Well,
then
it's kind of like we're forcing our beliefs on another culture. Right?
Well, I don't care what you believe. I don't. And I know I talk a lot of shit about religion, but I don't give a fuck about your religion. But if you want to be considered, if you want to sit at the fucking big boy table with the rest of the big boy fucking countries, you better act fucking right.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this coddling. Oh, we have to. It's their culture. Fuck their fucking culture. Fuck your culture. Your culture is shit. Your culture is fucking
modern
toxic.
Century. Yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing this shit. I'm so sick and tired of. Well, we have to let them be because that's how they've been doing it for however many thousands of years. And what's that done? What's that done for them? They're still living in fucking shit and stick fucking huts.
Yeah.
That's the road we want to fucking go down. Those are the people that we want to bring to the big boy table and consider, an equal fucking part to us? No, they're not fucking equal. Ship up or ship.
Not if you're living those kind of ways. No,
exactly.
Absolutely not.
Shape up or ship the fuck out, people. Like, get your fucking shit together, or you don't get to reaping the benefits that the rest of us fucking do.
But then the same could be said for America. Mm-hmm. Look, you got these crazy Christian fundamentalists that are trying to revert all the progress made in that country.
Mm-hmm. Are they doing it by calling for the deaths of people? No. Are they offering contract killings in public?
No, but they're still, it might be causing the death of people if they can't get access to a healthy, proper abortion.
Yeah, but see, they're doing that stuff properly. They're doing that the democratic way. They're going through their government. As horrible and shady and shit as it is, they're still doing it right. They're not fucking issuing a fucking death warrant on a person in the public.
That's true.
And that's my problem with this. It's not necessarily that they're offended. I don't care that they're offended. I mean, I'm just so used to everything being so fucking offensive nowadays that it just kind of in one ear out the fucking other. It's the tactic that they're using.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
To me, that has no fucking place in the modern world. None. Yeah. None. You do not get to fucking threaten and intimidate people because there was an idea that fucking hurt your delicate sensibilities. Mm-hmm.
I wonder when their fatwa. I know they're not Muslims. I wonder when their fatwa on Arthur is coming.
Fuck them. Like, fuck you, motherfuckers. I don't even care. Like,
I don't want them to put a fatwa on me. I want them to put a skinny twa on me.
Thin twa.
A thin twa.
It's just like, come the fuck on.
I just like that word, fatwa.
And again, because we have it so easy here. and we do. We don't really face real hardships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, of course, but it's not just an Indian thing. Like in the Philippines, the Philippines is an extremely, I don't think I've mentioned this enough, an extremely Catholic country,
Yeah.
right? And in the southern part of the Philippines is, what do you call that? The Muslims.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Muslims over there. For years, the fucking Catholics, kill them, kill them, kill them.
Yeah.
And so then now the Muslims are saying the same thing.
Same thing.
That people don't realize when you, how do I say this? When you add gasoline onto embers,
Mhm.
it becomes a flame. And then when you add more gasoline to those flames, you'll have a fucking raging bonfire.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve the problem now, does it? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying for everybody to be pacifist and think the way that I do and just kind of like be, you know, water off a duck's back. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's not my
Yeah.
point here. But my point is, you have to be smart enough at some point, as a community, as the government, as you know, the political representatives, to be like, maybe the solution could be something else besides inciting violence. You know what I
Just
mean?
not go see the movie if
Yeah.
you don't want to see it. It's ridiculous.
But common sense isn't all that common.
We know
No, it's
that
not.
just from past trends. Violence doesn't hurt us. It hurts the individual, yes.
Yeah.
You know, the boy over there, the girl over there that's carrying that rifle that got shot, that hurt them. That physically hurt them. But it
Yeah.
has not changed a fucking thing. You want to change shit? Hurt them monetarily.
Yeah.
Once you start fucking with people's money, that's when people really start to take notice.
Yeah.
You know, so but again though, they don't fucking think that way because it's just not how they were kind of taught. It's not how they were fucking
Mhm.
raised to think. They were raised to think, no, this is egregious to me. I murder. I kill. I get
Yeah.
rid of the problem. Well, it doesn't fucking
Well,
work.
especially when a woman's involved, right?
Yeah.
The
It's just-
misogyny there is still super powerful.
Oh, it's fucking insane. I mean, I can
Yeah.
still go buy a woman there for a cow and fucking half an acre of land.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. But yeah, you
Um,
know, we're supposed to give these nations, you know, equal say, which is fine. And again, I'm not going to blame all of fucking India for this. Like that's
No.
just stupid.
There's a lot of wonderful people in India.
Absolutely. But I mean, at the same point in time, like I do feel like if these nations can't get their shit under wrap, if they cannot control these fucking issues, then it's time for the rest of the world to just back away and be like, handle your fucking shit. When you get
Yeah.
this stuff figured out, then you're allowed to come sit back at the big boy table. Until then, you're on your fucking own.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't want to see more boots on the ground. I don't want to see another fucking
No.
conflict. I don't.
No.
It really does solve fucking nothing. And then when it comes time that we actually do need to fucking put boots on the ground and get into a worthwhile conflict, people are still kind of sullied by the last one where they're thinking, oh, well, it's just
Exactly.
bullshit like this. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's an unfortunate fact of life. War is it's necessary. For certain things, war is
Mhm.
absolutely fucking necessary.
It is.
You know, I mean, look at the DRPK. That's going to boil to like the only
Yeah.
thing that can happen is fucking war. There's no diplomatic solution to that. There's no saying, all right, North Korea, you don't get to come play in the playground with the rest of us, so you smarten the fuck up. They won't smarten the fuck up. You got to go punch that bully in the fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But a place like India, which is very progressive, and you know they will be a superpower one day. Like they will. Like you know,
Yeah. It's got a huge economy.
exactly. You know, look at the amount of engineers and shit they're producing out of that fucking country.
Mhm.
But there are small sects in these areas that are just completely fucking barbaric, and they need to handle this shit.
Yeah.
Obliterate them.
Yeah,
Well, I wouldn't, you know,
and
some
again,
countries have done it that way. I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking about like China,
mhm.
right? When they don't like
Or even
something, they
Bhutan,
obliterate them. So I'm not saying that's the way India should go, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. If it starts to hurt, like you said, their money.
You got to hurt people monetarily. You have to this
Yeah.
day and age, because again, the loss of our young men and women to a war is really meaningless to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
that same pull as when we were fighting the Great Wars.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Like back then, that really fucking stung. That really fucking stung us to know that, you know,
Our
a
boys
million
were
fucking
dying.
exactly
Yeah.
a million of us have fucking died over there fighting an ideology. Where now it's just like, whatever. I don't care.
Because the problem is like when we were, I shouldn't say we, I wasn't even
Yeah.
alive then, but when those wars were happening, it was like especially the Second World War, like Hitler. Hitler was the scariest ideal. You know, he was going to take our freedoms. He was going to, you know, run the world, and he was going to do horrible things. So now when people think now, you know, you think of the Iraq War.
Yeah.
Oh, just there for oil.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? It's not the same thing. You know, people don't see it as a I hate to say just, but a just war. You know what I mean?
It's not a just cause. It's not.
Yeah.
And to be fair, both the Great Wars were just causes. They were.
Yeah.
You know, we had to step in. We had to go over there. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We had to intervene in these conflicts. Yeah. But no, you're correct. There hasn't been a just cause in the longest time, as far as I'm concerned, to actually boots on the ground, go to war kind of shit. There really hasn't been. But I mean, like, they just have to start getting their shit together.
Yeah.
Like, I want the world to be part of the world. You know what I mean? I would love this idea of globalization.
Like Star Trek in the future, where everybody gets along and there's no Earth wars, you know?
What a beautiful thought. What a beautiful thought to think that, like, we could ever get to a point where we're all equal, that we all, you know, we're all on a level playing field. That's great. That's brilliant. Can't fucking happen. Can't happen until we all get on the same fucking page, and until we all value human life. You know what I mean? It's never going to happen.
We're too warlike. We're too tribalistic.
Well, and that's it, right? How do you undo millions of years of evolution with a pen, right? Like, it's so hard. Because it's like you said, you know, we are very tribalistic, and that's deep inside of us. Like, you can't fucking do away with that overnight. Like, that takes a lot of soul searching.
You know, they'll fight for territory, right? Yep. And we are essentially animals.
That's been my argument forever, for all this tribalistic bullshit. You know, especially within the realm of like racism and stuff, right? I always bring it back to tribalism, and you know, a lot of people don't understand that argument, but it's the truth. You know, we are just fighting for territory.
We are. I mean,
it's not even necessarily white against black or Christians against Muslims. It could be anything. It could be your teams, Leafs against Canadians.
Exactly. Oh yeah, because I hate Montreal fans with a fucking passion.
Yeah, I mean, we're tribalistic, and we have all these little subgroups that we belong to. Yeah. Right? My group of girlfriends against your group of girlfriends. We hate you because you're, you know, bitches or whatever. That's how we are.
But none of us have ever put a fucking hit on anybody.
No.
I would never fucking say, hey, I'll give $100 million to anyone that kills any fucking Montreal Canadian fan on fucking site.
No, that's ridiculous.
Because rightfully so, I would go to fucking jail. Like, rightfully so, I would be reprimanded for doing something as abhorrent as that.
Yeah.
And again, we need to start treating people abroad with the same kind of brush that we treat people here. If you talk like that, you act like that, then there's no place for you here, and you don't get to join, or you don't get to revel in the benefits of being in a Western civilization, if that's how you fucking think.
You don't get to benefit from being fucking part of the normal human race.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right? You kind of have to ostracize these people until they shape the fuck up.
Yeah.
As harsh as that is.
So I just want really quickly before we finish the show, I know we're a little bit over, but I wanted to talk about this because I thought this was kind of scary. Josiah Zayner, this is from I Fucking Love Science, by the way.
Okay.
He's become the first person known, as far as we know, to have edited his own DNA. He did it on a live stream. He used CRISPR, which is the gene editing technique that I've been hearing a lot about in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He removed the protein myostatin from an area in his forearm. So myostatin, that's inhibits muscle growth. So he removed that protein from his body. And the idea is that his forearm will become much stronger. Is this the way to superhumans? I don't know, but he did this and he showed people how to do it. So we could have people doing all kinds of crazy shit in their own homes.
Oh, okay. So can he show us how to be skinny?
I don't know what gene editing you need for that.
No,
okay, well, I'm going to need them to figure this out real quick.
The only reason why he did it in his forearm is so he could jerk off quicker. That's it. This is solely for masturbation purposes.
You're probably
I know I'm right.
The same thing for me would be for sexual purposes anyway, to be skinnier. I just need them to hurry up and do that. I don't want to work to be skinny. Why?
That's a pretty, you know, what I mean, like, so in the government, if you work for a government or university or a hospital, you have all these laws you have to follow.
Yeah.
No human testing until a certain, you know, amount of studying and research,
Yeah.
right? And approval. This guy said, fuck that, and
Yeah.
he did it himself.
He can go to jail. I mean, not go. He will probably go to jail if this is true.
Very possibly,
Yeah.
you know.
If it's
Very
true
possibly.
and he can hoax people.
But
Well, that's it.
I think this would fall under the realm of body modification since it was an elective and he did it himself, right? Because I can go right now and opt for I can get my arm amputated right now if I want to.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, in the body modification world, you can do that. You can lob off parts of your fucking body. You can have fucking like weird fucking implants. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've seen implants and like the tongue cut and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
didn't know you could just go and get your arm.
Okay, you can have fucking what's the voluntary fucking amputation.
That's fuck.
Oh, it's insane. Like I'm not into the whole body modification stuff, but you can do this stuff. Like it's there.
Oh my God.
I want it to be done to me. I want to lose 50 pounds.
Amputate
so
my
they can go-
fat.
Well, yeah. If they
Okay.
take both your legs, I mean, you're looking at what, a couple 100 pounds right there.
No,
I don't know
But
how
I'm-
much fucking legs weigh, man. I'm not. It wasn't a fucking jab at you.
I was thinking
You have 50-pound legs, Ryan. You're so fat.
I don't fucking know. Like, how much
I
does a
can't
fucking
believe-
leg weigh?
Oh my!
I don't know.
But he just said 50 pounds, Jacqueline. Right? We heard the number.
Probably.
We have this recorded.
So anyway, I want to talk about, and then the next one I want to talk about before, because I thought this was kind of amazing. Now it's still in obviously the groundbreaking opening discovery part of it, and they still have to do more research into it. But a PhD student from Queen's University here in Canada, her name is Caitlin Miron. She's found a chemical compound that might be able to switch off cancer cells. So it's when you have in your DNA. This is how she explained it. Let me read how she explained it. So it's kind of basic layman terms. So she says, compare a DNA strand to a necklace with beads, and then move along until there's like a knot in it, right? A knot in the beads. The beads are the cell machinery that move along the necklace processing the DNA. You can go in and untangle the knot, but in this case, someone has gone in there first and they've used super glue to hold it together. What we've discovered in that case is the glue. So you can then glue these pieces and keep the cancer cells from spreading, is the theory.
Okay, so basically, she is going to be the cause of I Am Legend. Okay, no problem.
Well, you never. I mean, this is still 20 to 30 years in the future,
Yeah.
possibly, right? Before it's being used. But this might be the very first step into a cure for cancer.
Well, I've always thought that we would find cures for certain diseases, right?
Yeah.
Every type of research helps. And if this is that, I hope that somebody would sponsor her, or not sponsor, but would fund her so we could find more into
Oh, I'm
it
sure she'll
instead
have
of-
funding.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope she does. I'll fund you, girl. I got $5.
But the thing is like there's so many different types of cancers, and they still don't even know what makes cancer cancer.
Mhm.
That's the problem, right? Until you can figure out even what's starting
The cause.
it,
Yeah.
you know, turns on the cancer gene. You know, so this is at least maybe a future cancer free one day.
Nah. I can't see that ever happening. I can't. It's a mutated gene that's constantly mutating, and you don't even now with us like mapping the human genome, we still don't know how to identify, you know, what it is what's going to mutate into a cancer cell, right?
Yeah. Well,
it
that's
is a
what
start.
DNA is, right? I mean, if you can, yes, I know they're always mutating, but if you can then go in, like with, say, CRISPR, and edit that, even if you don't know what it is or that mutation, if you can find the mutation and you can edit it, then you can still
Even that app
essentially
sounds
turn off.
like it's for fat people, CRISPR.
I kind of like that name, CRISPR. It sounds like fresh lettuce or something.
That's what you fucking use to freaking make the pork skin crispy. CRISPR.
I honestly thought it was another, like a grinder.
Well, the first time I heard about it was on that Sherlock Holmes Elementary.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are they talking about? I thought it was a made up thing. And then I started to hear about it everywhere. I'm like, that's a real thing. Oh my God.
Well, it's cool. I mean, obviously, like, fuck cancer. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that's pro cancer.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe some weird one of those fetish people or something.
Oh, there's guaranteed some idiot out there, some fucking morons out there. He heard some fucking liberal talk shit about how they're anti-cancer, so now he's pro fucking cancer.
I'm sure you've seen it, you know, when BuzzFeed always puts up the list of like, you know, most embarrassing Tumblr posts or people, and the girl who put, I wish me and my boyfriend had cancer so we could be like Hazel and Augustus from Fault in Our Stars.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus.
Jacqueline is so fucking sick.
It's messed up.
Tumblr,
one of them dies at the end, and one of them probably died after the story ended.
Tumblr itself is fucking cancer.
Yeah.
Fuck's
I don't
sakes.
understand it, but every post I read from there is very strange.
Oh my god, it's just this little echo chamber of the most fucking ridiculous shit you've ever fucking heard.
Is it strange or Stranger Things?
No, it's just complete batshit fucking lunacy. Fuck.
Ryan, what the hell?
Yeah.
Are you trying to be a philosopher?
Yes. I'm a philosophy, okay?
Okay, well,
Jesus Christ.
the end of the show. I didn't get to talk about the Starbucks cups, but maybe we can talk about them next week.
Yeah. Giving everybody.
The gay agenda is alive, people.
Yeah.
So have a good Thanksgiving to the Americans out there. Enjoy it. Eat lots of turkey for me. And lots of gravy for Arthur.
Yeah.
And me.
And have a good weekend. I will not be here on Sunday because Justin will be in wherever he is visiting his mom for Thanksgiving. So we'll be back on Monday with our regular show.
Okay, lesbian.
Oh, wait, I got to go to the place to hang up. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, take care.